Well, that was a weird intro because I had no idea that it was going to switch over here because XSplit froze. Hello. Well, welcome to Drop Frame. We had an entire intro planned out for this, and now it's just fucked. Now we just can't do it. So we're just going to thumbs up. No one's going to know what that means. And then we'll tell you in just a bit. There you go. Tally, I love the robe. Always bringing the robe.
It is, man. It's like nice and fashionable, you know, like kind of relaxing. This is a relaxing fucking show, man. I just want to chill, have a nice little glass of whiskey, you know, apple juice, and just,
you can drink on Twitch. It's not gambling.
Apple juice.
No, this is not gambling, JP.
It's not gambling. Drinking whiskey is not gambling. Today I learned. We teach the important stuff here. There you go. What was that noise? Was that Co's noise?
That might have been my soundboard.
Oh, okay. Do you just reactively just hit that?
It is 100% muscle memory.
Yeah.
I don't even think about it anymore. I'm just like, hey, cheers, everyone. I don't even know where it comes from anymore. I don't remember doing it. It just happened.
I figured as much. That's why I didn't get one of those. Do you just talk to your wife when you're at the computer and just use the soundboard?
Oh, yeah. I'll get in trouble, and it'll be like all sad trombone. And she'll be like, what the hell was that? I'll be like, nothing.
You should just pre-record voice messages so when she comes over there, you just hit the buttons. Yes, honey, I'll be right there. No, honey, I'm not ready to sleep yet.
I'll do it later, sweetie.
I'll do it later, sweetie.
I'm streaming, baby.
There you go. Just have those pre-recorded. Exactly. Glad to have you here, Co and Tally. Our first-time guest this time, although we've seen him a billion times on this channel, is Jesse Cox. Jesse, how's it going?
Hi, everybody.
That's you. Awesome. Yes, it's you. Can you believe it?
That's me.
Yeah. How's it going? What have you been up to? What are you drinking? Some water?
Yep. Some nice crystal clear water.
Yeah.
And, I literally minutes ago just got done with the first three and a half hours of Am Setsuna. Holy shit, is that game fun?
So let's do the show in reverse. We'll talk about towards the back half. We'll talk about what we've been playing because I want to hear about that game right now. I can't wait. I haven't played it. Only because I booted it up yesterday.
Yep.
And I wanted to, I hit start on my controller, you know, as you do, you hit start on that.
Yes.
And then I decided to hit down and the controller didn't work. And I was like, well, that's interesting. Let's try going to the, no. All right. Nothing on this controller is actually working in game. And it's because Square Enix has a bug with fucking Microsoft controllers that they haven't fixed.
What? I was using this.
Is it wired? It's wired.
Yeah.
That's why it works. So the wireless controllers use a different driver than the wired.
Trust that wireless nonsense.
Yeah. Fancy JP.
It uses a fucking different driver, and so I can't use it unless I do some fucking weird editing. So I haven't played the game yet.
It is essentially the spiritual successor to what made Squaresoft good back in the 90s. So
that's a good sell.
You know, like, I'm trying to think of what years it was. I think it was 93, 94, 95, something like that. Those 3 years when it was Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana. They came out one after the other. That period of time was like the heyday of old SNES awesomeness for Nintendo and Squaresoft. And this is what that game feels like. Within minutes of playing, the battle music, I was like, holy shit, this is going to be stuck in my head for a week. It's so good and wonderful. I really enjoyed just the entire experience. Right now you can see Dodger playing it.
Yeah, we're just ripping Dodger's stream. She's all right with it. You'll go watch her afterwards anyway.
She looks like she just is in like the first hour of the game. But the basic gist is here's how I'll describe it to you. I'm not gonna give you the overarching story. I'm just gonna give you the first 5 minutes of the game.
Okay.
You are a bounty hunter
who
has been sent to kill a girl who is a sacrifice.
Great.
Right? You're trying to kill the girl before she can be sacrificed, which is already like, huh? So after the intro, you proceed to do like a like behind the back walk through snow, which is entirely mimicking the Final Fantasy VI, like where you're walking in Narcia on like the And then when you find the girl, she's on the island. Literally, she's basically Yuna. So now you're in Final Fantasy X a little bit. You see characters who are like mirrors of other old Squaresoft characters.
Like who, Jesse? Who do you meet?
You essentially meet Auron at some point. He shows up.
Okay.
And but it's not him, but it's clearly like the trope of that character.
Everyone loves Auron.
And all that stuff is like comes together to make a game that is super fun. There's a lot to uncover. The combat, there's more than just the active time battle, which is that Chrono Trigger style combat. What it is also you then have if you wait and don't attack right away, you build up a charge. And the more charges you build up, you can unload that by attacking and then pressing X to do even more damage or to activate other things. Like, so if you heal and you activate your charge ability, you increase the other person's speed in which they can attack next turn.
Okay.
Or if you have a protect ability, if you cast it on one person, then get your special ability off, it goes on everybody instead of one person. So it makes combat much more. There's much more to it. Dodger's not using it right now. She totally didn't use it. That's fine. That's fine.
I'm not seeing this at all, Jesse. Can you please?
She did it wrong. So,
Okay.
but
Noted.
Noted.
But it's Chrono Trigger style combat. They even have some of the abilities from Chrono Trigger. Like 2 of the characters can make that like cross attack, which is
Oh,
cross
yeah.
slash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa.
cross slash.
Fucking Frog
Triple
and Chrono,
triad.
man.
Yeah. Oh, she Cyclone's ability. She still hasn't done it. Oh, Duger, just use the damn. Just use
What
the
are
trigger.
these? What are these little like snowflake icons that look like they're filling up to the right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
When those
okay,
fill up, if you attack and then press X when you attack, you'll get like a circle will explode off the enemy, and it'll give you a bonus of some sort. She's clearly
Gotcha.
not doing it. God help me, I would go to the office next door and yell at her to do it. But
No, Jesse,
Do it.
I want you to stand up right now and go yell at her to do it. I'm commanding you to stand up and go.
Dude,
I want to
JP,
hear it. I want to hear it.
could you not start your game when you played?
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
couldn't because the
From
controller
what I
doesn't
heard-
work.
From what I heard Jesse say that it was great, I was like, okay, you know what? That's what I needed to hear. So I bought it,
Yeah.
I downloaded it, and dude, I all the buttons work in the button configurator, but I can't start a new game. It doesn't work.
Are you using a wireless controller?
I'm using a wired Razer Wildcat.
Oh, I don't know about the Razer stuff.
I'm sitting here like it won't let me start the game. It won't let me start the game.
That's what that's
let me play the game.
that is
Got
the
it.
exact
Here's
issue
your keyboard
I have.
code.
If I use nothing happens. It won't do
Oh.
anything.
Oh,
I
never
can't
mind
even
then.
quit. Oh, there we go. Yes. No. Yes. Stop it. Son of a bitch. Oh my god. All right,
I don't have this issue. I don't know what other games are.
Yeah, I couldn't get it started either, Co. Like there were some glaring issues with that. Nice, Jesse was just there showing. Good, yeah. No, oh my God, Jesse's here in real life. We just saw you on screen.
I'm back.
Did she do it? I think she showed it to us.
Yeah. So you can see how it explodes, and the combat's a lot of fun. So far, aside from the story of, hey, this girl who's Yuna-esque needs to be taken to the Badlands, whatever it's called, and murdered and sacrificed to keep the monsters from coming back to life.
Okay.
Really, I'm not that far in the story. So I know that I've met 2 bad guys, but they
Ooh.
haven't said their names. And one guy's like, I'm Scythe Dude and super evil, but I have to run right now, so F you. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, as long as that's better than that shit show that was Star Ocean.
Oh man.
Did you try playing that, Tally? Me and Co both did. We were both like, yeah, we're gonna finish this game. Full playthrough start. Jesus Christ. I haven't played that game very long.
That
Play
game was
for like 2
a
hours,
great
I'm like-
example, a great idea of like a lot of cool ideas and a lot of cool mechanics, but the implementation was just like mind numbing.
Yeah.
And did you ever get to that fight where you have to protect her? That they're all
No, so that fight is what I've heard everyone complain about, and I'm so glad I didn't get there. 'Cause I
it
would have
took me a straight hour and a half of dying to beat it. And
Yeah.
and when I did beat it, it was just like ha ha, and then I quit like an hour later.
Yeah.
How far into it was that? How many hours into it was that fight?
Pretty significant. It was like the end of my second stream, so like 6 to 8 hours in.
Okay.
Like basically all it is it's this girl and she's like, hey, I need to get these controls on the door, protect me. And then it's like, okay, we've done this like 4 times before, easy. And then it spawns like 6 mobs in a semicircle around her that have range guns. You can't taunt them, and they're just like, and she just dies instantly over and over. And there's 3 waves of that. So if you somehow manage to like spam heals on her, keep her up, then 2 giant robots spawn with flamethrowers. They just walk right over to her and start burning her face off. I mean, it's and no other fight is like it. It's
Yeah.
one of those fights that just didn't make it out of QA. It was ridiculous.
That's unfortunate.
Thankfully, Am Setsuna is like a straight up Chrono Trigger-esque game where you're not fighting in the overworld. Only the combat you engage in is combat where you're like, if you see a guy, you can either attack him from behind and get an extra little bubble on him so you can use your specials sooner, or the guy spots you. But it isn't like you will never get like actively screwed unless you are horribly under-leveled for the area, which I think I'm totally okay with that. And then you learn abilities. All the items you get, you can sell, but also by selling them, they go into a little pool that you can then use to craft other things. So even if you sell it, you still get benefits from those items. You can find little hidden things on the open world, the things she's looking for now. And those hidden things, this is my literal favorite part of this game. I love finding random shit in RPGs. I love going around.
That's why you're still doing a Dragon Age Inquisition playthrough, Jesse, because you're still looking for that shit.
Oh, Witcher. I'm still doing Witcher. I'm on episode 103, I think. I'm literally I find everything there is to find. And
103.
So, yeah, and I will not stop. And so in this game, I was looking around, and I found all these little things like snowy cabbage and rock salt. I'm like, what is this for? I eventually get to a town that has a cook. The cook's like, hey, I need X, Y, and Z. I was like, oh, I have those.
That's always a good feeling.
Yeah, and he's like, here, this is a recipe for an item that literally gives you double XP. I'm level 5 in the game. Suddenly I'm like, yo, welcome to level 10, which is amazing. So I'm just destroying this game. I'm way over leveled. It's great. It's a great feeling to be like, I was rewarded for searching for things. Ah!
There you go.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
I think Dodger just found Oron, or whatever the equivalent in this game. So
yeah, if she actually were to run up north a little bit, she'd see the guy and he'd be like, "What up? I'm a guy with a badass sword."
Yeah.
Does he have the pose? Does he have the pose too with the sword in the back like that?
Oh my god! Just take 2 seconds and watch it. You'll see.
It's well, she got to get through this fight real quick. I like how I'm just This is like totally against everything that Twitch is about. I guess if the stream. Yeah, well, if the streamer allows it, I think it's okay. I think that's the mandate.
As long as you have permission, you can do whatever you want with that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that's the rule. Jesse's got my back. He'll go fight her if this becomes an issue.
Just look at this man. He's basically.
Oh, that's basically Oron.
Yeah.
100%.
It's a whole game just designed to be like, hey, remember when? Which I'm fine with. I'll
take those nostalgic hits. That's fine.
Yeah.
I just want my fucking controller to work so I can play wirelessly. It's fucking 2016.
Best investment I ever made. I have more wireless controllers than I know, but this is the one thing I'm proud to own, the wired controller.
I think I still have my wired.
My wired controller's screwing up, JP, so don't get too excited.
Okay. All right. I won't.
I'm sitting here updating my drivers, trying to fix this shit while we're doing this.
I know there's some glaring issues with that stuff, but the game seems fine. I'm excited. Don't name your characters. Don't name all your characters Setsuna like Dodger's doing, by the way.
She thinks it's hilarious.
That's a bad thing to do.
She's naming everyone Setsuna.
Because the game, I get it. The game's called I Am Setsuna, so she's got to live up to that, I guess.
I get it.
Yeah, I get it. I want to play the game. I just haven't gotten the controller to work, so I don't know when that'll happen. And if you want to continue watching that game, you can leave this stream and go watch twitch.tv/dexterity_bonus.
It's garbage over
But you don't want to. She's streaming for 12 hours. We're streaming for like 2 and
She will literally still be streaming after we're done.
We'll even host her. Fuck it. We'll even host her. I'll make that for letting us restream her stream, which she agreed to. That's the wrong eye. Then I'll host her after this. So there you go. Go check her out after the show, not now. Jesse, what have you been playing? Besides this, nothing else?
I played a game called the Temporal Invasion, which is a full-on ARG game.
Okay.
So the basic gist is a guy named Dr. Quantum comes to you, the player, and it's like, hey, I need you to help me solve mysteries throughout time. So the very first mission is like, yo, who killed JFK? So you literally have to analyze documents and like look through crazy stuff, and it's weird. It's a weird game. The last puzzle was about finding Slenderman's real identity. So you're like,
oh,
what? That's awesome.
You're like changing. As you can see on the screen, there's UV. You can magnify. You can change the filters. You can like photo edit stuff. And sometimes you'll find secret messages. You literally have to listen to Morse code or messages backwards and forwards. Watch videos with little ciphers. So the video you can see on the screen right now is like oh, well, that guy was using webdings. So I got to go look up what webdings are and figure out what the message is. And so you have to communicate by email, and then you have a little text message thing. There are all these different things you have to unlock. And it's essentially a great game for streamers because if you're dumb like me and you hit a problem that's like, oh, this is straight up algebra that I don't know how to do, you can turn to the chat and be like, chat, help me out here. And they're like, oh, well, you just have to go online and find the algorithm for this. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. And so I had to use a thing called a Masonic pigeon cipher at one point. I was using all sorts of crazy stuff.
Do you shove letters through a pigeon and they give you the, how does that work?
I wish that was the case.
Okay.
It's pretty amazing in that you make like 2 X's and then the letters go into the X's. And so like the X's are then the symbols on. It's crazy. There's so much crazy stuff in this game. And the plot is nonsensical gibberish. It is so much fun. Mostly because whoever made the game definitely has an English as a second language thing going on. So like when he's like, I am Dr. Quantum from future. You're like, yep, I bet you are. I bet you are, Dr. Quantum.
It's from Hybriona Labs. I have no idea what else they made.
What's the name of the game? Because I want to jot that one down.
The Temporal Invasion. I'll link it in.
All right.
It is not.
I'll link it in stream
Games
as well.
like list of games, so I literally had to go with the Tempora Samurai or whatever the game was called. I was like, I wish it was this.
Oh yeah, no, they're from India. Yeah, the company, unless I'm reading this incorrectly, is out of India. So
I'll tell you. I'll give you one example of why this game was amazing. So there's a moment where Dodger like came in to help me because I was losing my mind. There's a location in the game that it said, hey, there's this island that this person has gone missing at, and we need you to track down this island. So I go online, look this island up, and everything about it, even everyone in the chat's looking it up, and everyone's like, well, the island doesn't exist. It's not real. I'm like, wait, what? And so I start digging, and then I literally just type in the name of the like specific location on the island, and up pops a resort. And the resort is on the island. I'm like, wait, what? So I look at this website, and I'm like, this ARG is next level if they made a fake website for this thing in the game. This is crazy.
That's Mr. Robot shit right there.
Yeah, I start going through it and looking at it, and then I'm like, wait, hold on. I go to Travelocity, type in the name, it has 1,000 reviews. I'm like, wait. So this fake island has 1,000 reviews. Like, this can't be real. So then everyone was like, oh my God, there's a number on the website. You have to call it. So literally, I'm like, I can't do this. So I type in the name of the island, and the Dr. Quantum guy's like, oh my God, that is true, but that island doesn't exist. So I was like, it clearly exists. I see it on the website. And everyone was like, call the number. So I finally call the number. And this woman's like, hello, booking and reservations. I'm like, God, I just hang up. It's a real place, but it's not a real place. It was crazy. Like, this game is bonkers. So I would highly recommend, if you want to have a weird day with your viewers, this is the weird day to have. It was crazy.
Interesting. Yeah, it's that's a 2-man team out of India. They also made the game Love is Blind: Mutants. So
Yep.
yeah,
Let's give that one a try.
that's a stealth game that relies on the character's mutant powers in order to overcome obstacles such as guards and blocked pathways. I mean, you need some mutant powers to overcome that shit. Utilizes a low poly, high contrast aesthetics akin to the PSX games, that genuine no frills nostalgic gaming experience of yesteryear. All right, there you go for $2, and then Temporal Invasions, the game Jesse was just talking about, is $4 on Steam. So
Super cheap. It's a lot of fun. There was 2 days worth of losing my mind with viewers, and it was great. It spans every little bit of puzzle solving you can imagine. It will blow your mind.
Nice. Talia, we'll get to you soon because we're going to be talking about Legion for about an hour, and I know that's pretty much all you've played since.
I've played other games, man. Like,
What else have you played, Talia?
I mean,
Confess to me.
Hearthstone, Overwatch, played a little bit of Diablo.
StarCraft 2, I heard he's playing that in the back. He's Masters, random in StarCraft 2.
Grandmaster Diamond Lint League. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I played Battlefield 1, the alpha for that. You guys probably already spoke
Oh,
about
yeah, we all played that. Yeah.
And sometimes during my streams, I put on the Pokemon Go thing. But every time I try to play, all I catch is Rattatas and Pig.
Do you get a lot in your house?
Yeah, it's a pig gay every time.
There you go. I don't know.
And a
what that is.
ratatata.
Oh, okay. I
Little
know what
rat.
I know what the rat-a-tat is. I don't know what is a pig gay? What is
It's like
that?
a little bird, man. You catch him with a little
Pidgeotto.
He means
Yeah,
he
that
means
thing.
Pidgey. He means
Pidgey.
Pidgey.
Yeah.
Pidgey. Pidgey. That's the
A
guy.
pig gay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
Every morning I'm like, there's another pig gay, caught it. Another pig gay, caught it. Another ratatata, caught it. I just put my phone down, like in between like doing whatever giveaways and playing the beta. And I'm little breaks. I'm just like, there's another pig gay and another one. People are just yelling at me. I'm like, whatever, man. I caught a Pokemon. Deal with it.
A pig.
I'm
gay.
like driving like Lula around town, like going to like different gyms, and she's like, no, stop here. I'm like causing traffic because I'm going 10 miles an hour down like a highway. She's like, no, pull into the. No, it's over here. It's in this guy's house. I think if I get close enough, it won't be illegal. I'm like, all right, that's fine, no problem.
Yep.
And then, yeah, that's Pokemon Go.
That sounds like Pokemon Go stories. Have you
Yeah.
been hunting, Jesse, out with Dodger and Sam to the piers at midnight?
As much as I can. There's many moments where they're like, "Yo, we're going out. We're going to hunt." I'm like, I have videos to edit. They're like, you're not even working in there. You're just playing games. What do you do?
Hello.
Hello.
What are you guys doing?
I'm like, this is literally my job. This is what I'm doing. I'm editing. I'm sorry I can't go wander the streets looking for Pokemon all the time. Yeah, so sadly, I'm level 15 in an office of people who are like 20, 25. So
Yeah.
I stand no chance. It's pointless. I'm just
Oh,
I'm just Pokemon.
I think I don't even know because I deleted it when the whole Google thing was happening, like the second day. So I haven't played since then. But I'm so far behind. I lost interest in it. And I wonder too if that's also happening to like everyone else, or if there's still people that are going fucking crazy. Like I haven't kept up with all the news on it. I know that more countries have gotten in, and that's been terrible for the servers. I'm looking at you, Canada, but apart from that, I haven't heard any other crazy issues. So. That's Pokemon Go. Battlefield 1 is closed, though. I didn't even know they were like going to stop
Me neither.
the thing until Danny O'Dwyer from GameSpot tweeted out yesterday that he couldn't play anymore. And that pisses me off, man. I enjoyed that game.
It's a good game. It's
It
so
is.
fun.
Kind of incredible how much fun that game was and how long we could play it with only one map.
With one map, I put in about 14 hours.
I was pushing probably 20, 25, to be honest. And I was
Yeah.
still having a good time. I kept playing it.
Not like 5 or 6 I played, but I enjoyed every second of it, man. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
You know, when we were talking through the E3 stuff and we were saying that, it kind of has like that Battlefront look to it or whatever. But then when you actually play it, you're like, it's nothing like Battlefront.
It's not. It's not.
That's
at all.
exactly what happened to me, Tally.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was like, oh man, I got the alpha. Let's see if it's like Battlefront. I'm like, oh man, this is amazing. There's nothing like Battlefront.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. I'm really looking forward to launch and seeing. I want more guns. Granted, they can't put the guns that I want in there because it's a World War I game. So there's not going to be any like crazy automatic guns or like a fucking super high powered sniper unless they do some real crazy shit. But
I got to be honest, man. Battlefield 1 makes me excited for when they take that engine
yeah,
to current and beyond. Like I'd love to see like a serious future, like 20, like I always say on my stream, like
yeah,
2143, please. You know, hopefully that'll be your next one.
yeah.
But I'd love to see this current engine like in current days or even future. That'd be great too.
Yeah.
No jetpacks, please. Thank you.
Jesse, did you play Titanfall 2 at E3?
No. And I literally just got a thing that was like, yo, hey, you want to come play Titanfall 2? And I just am out of town. So I won't even get to play it probably before launch. I'm super excited for the changes they'll make because Titanfall, the original one, had so much potential.
It
I
did,
feel like
yeah.
all of it was lost and squandered, but it's still the game, still like the franchise still has potential to be awesome. And the one thing I want, they'll never do it, but it's the one thing that would make me happy is if they would make the Titans feel like they're actually doing something in the world. When you shoot a wall and the bullets absorb, like, no. If a man can hide in a building, you tear that building down.
That's how it is in Battlefield.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If they put that kind of destruction in Titanfall 2, holy shit,
that'd
dude.
be awesome.
You could just like, you see a guy run into a building and you just walk over and like slam your head into the top to break the roof off and put your gun in and just like, oh man.
That'd be a great
that'd be
game.
good.
Because I understand that's their way of trying to balance it to make it fair. Like, oh, well, the little guy can run inside the building to hide from you. It shouldn't be fair. If you lost your mech, you were on the defense forever.
Yeah.
Deal with like You should be running to the edge of the map because you are going to die otherwise. And it angered me that it was just like, all right, well, he ran away, so I guess I'll stand out here and shoot NPCs while nothing happens.
Yeah.
I wish there was more to that game.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, on that exact same line, Jesse, because I felt the same way. I am very optimistic for this whole new grappling hook system in Titanfall, because that seems like, I mean, that adds a whole new angle to on foot. I mean, if you're in a significant radius of a Titan, you just go onto the back of that thing, start pulling its cords out of the back like you did in one. I'm personally really looking forward to Titanfall 2. I'm one of those guys.
I think a lot of people are.
Titanfall 1, I played it straight for 2 days. I was just super bummed at the end of day 2 to realize I unlocked everything and did everything. So it's like my biggest complaint in Titanfall 1 is that there wasn't enough of it. And now here they are in Titanfall 2, and one of the first things they say is, "We heard your feedback, deep progression system." And I was just like, yes, like awesome.
What person doesn't have that? I'm sure there are a few, but what good, genuine human being doesn't have the dream of getting in a mech and ruining faces? Like that is the coolest concept in the world, and they had it, but it wasn't enough. Like it was just like here's a little. It was like a demo taste. Like this is what we could make happen, and now they finally have the potential to really make it like kick ass.
Every like,
and you know what? To be perfectly honest, frankly, Jesse, if people don't feel that way, it's un-American.
I would agree. I would agree completely.
We'll talk about politics in just a bit, so save that. Save that. But every like preview and I guess impression that I've read or heard about Titanfall 2 at E3, like they all said it was fan-fucking-tastic, and so I'm super interested to see what happens, because between Titanfall 2 release and Battlefield 1 release is about a week. Or 2. I think it might be 2 weeks. Yeah. It might even be a week.
Seriously? Which one's first?
Titanfall 2. So like I want to see what happens.
Good for them. Yeah. Good for them.
I'll get the exact dates. Jesse, what were we going to say?
No, I didn't realize the Titanfall 2 was coming that soon. I had no clue.
Yeah, Titanfall 2 launches on October 28th. And
is Titanfall 2 doing the open or closed beta kind of thing?
Oh, no, sorry, it's backwards. Battlefield comes out on October 21st. Titanfall 2 is October 28th. It's backwards.
Ouch.
Now, thankfully, 2 completely different times, like futuristic mech and historical shooter. So at least they're hitting different, crowds in that regard. But I got to say, man, that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's kind of unfortunate.
Isn't like Tomb Raider coming out at the same time, Fallout 4, same week?
Yeah.
Same day?
Yeah. It's pretty.
It's the same kind of like concept and situation.
It's crazy that like they're both coming from EA though. I don't understand why they didn't go October and November with one. Like, why so fucking close to one another?
Oh God, it's gonna be like Battleborn and Overwatch again. Where like Overwatch is like, we're just gonna shit on you. Come again. Oh God, that's so sad. That's sad, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. I'm hoping that Titanfall 2 has some sort of. They had a beta for Titanfall 1 before the actual game, didn't they? I think.
Yeah, but they had it a few months before, if I remember properly. And it's. I mean, if really it is October, that's right around the corner, and they haven't even announced any. I mean, they're being surprisingly quiet about Titanfall 2 outside of like the E3 and big stuff. I'm kind of.
I wonder.
There was an article today though by PC Gaming.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, let me see if I can find the link for us. It said like behind the scenes with Titanfall 2 or something.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're waiting for if they're waiting for Activision to do stuff with Call of Duty before they start bringing out the Titanfall, because I feel like that's kind of the direct. Although Battlefield's always been the one they've pushed, I wonder if they're waiting to push Titanfall 2 against that now, waiting for that media cycle. So,
they have behind the scenes videos and stuff.
Yep, posted 10 hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
behind the scenes video series to show the nitty gritty of Respawn's development process. Yeah, and it's releasing October 28th, just like you said. Yep.
Yeah. The crazy thing too, we didn't talk about, but it's got that single player. It has a single player component this time around.
Your Optimus Prime robot that you get into?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I'm a little conflicted about that, because it's going to be super unfortunate if Titanfall 2 releases with like a really good single player game, but then it quickly becomes clear that they didn't spend the time they needed on the multiplayer. I'm a little like it's going to be super unfortunate if that's the problem. Because I mean, Titanfall 2 Titanfall really, I mean, it was multiplayer only, of course. I mean, the single player was a joke, but Titanfall 2 has a huge chance to really shine as a fun multiplayer game. There's not a lot of great mecha multiplayer games out, except the Hawken and Mech Warriors, and those are all kind of have their own issues. So it would be kind of I'm really hoping it doesn't come out with like a really good single player and then like multiplayer becomes like a one-off that no one plays. That would be sad.
Do they not have a collector's edition that gives you a giant mech in terms of like an actual toy mech?
Like a physical mech?
Yeah, like why don't they have a toy mech?
They just ship it to your house.
Jesse,
Go
did you
Amazon,
see
bro.
that?
Check on Amazon.
Yeah, okay, yeah. They should. I figured they would. Amazon, Titanfall. This is what real gamers care about is the fucking mech.
It's called the Vanguard Collector's Edition.
Oh, it's the helmet.
Damn, that was cool as hell.
dope,
I think I already pre-ordered this, actually, for some reason.
Oh, that helmet is
That
cool.
right there.
And a flat. Look at that little flashlight or the military flashlight, whatever that is.
What?
And then you get like
Get some dog. You get a USB dog tag. I'm sorry, but StarCraft 2 already did that. Titanfall. All right.
Damn.
Yeah, you get like a little notebook thing. Does anyone ever use that? Like,
No.
I'm gonna use my Titanfall notebook thing.
Who writes anymore? Like,
Did I pre-order this? I don't think I
totally
did.
unused Witcher notebook.
Yeah.
Still have it on my desk. It's been there for 6 months.
Jesse,
unused.
did you see this? I don't know. I don't know where you stand on the Kingdom Hearts 3 front. Are you a big fan?
Oh, you sent me the Kingdom Hearts figure thing.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the concept of Kingdom Hearts. I couldn't tell you where the hell the story's at. It is
No one can. That's Kingdom Hearts lore. No one can fucking tell you.
no one knows what's going on
It's
in that game.
nonsense. But the games are always super fun to play. But I couldn't even tell you what's going on. It is gibberish.
Yeah, that's Titanfall. Or that's Titanfall. That's Kingdom Hearts as far as I'm concerned. No one can tell you what's going on in Titanfall 2 either because there was no component of a single player game
Yes,
at
that's
all
true.
in the beginning. There was a small one, but it wasn't that big. Anyways, tangents aside, Co, what have you been playing? I know you've been playing a lot of RimWorld.
Yep, I've been playing a lot of RimWorld. Also dived into 7 Days to Die.
I've
which
heard a lot
I
of good
hadn't
things
played.
about that.
I hadn't played 7 Days to Die since it came out, and when it came out, it was like it was really awkward to me because it like if you came up to a building and destroyed it, it would warp the existing wood and make it look totally unnatural. And like the same thing would happen if you went underground. There'd be like weird outcrop. I really wasn't a fan of it, so I decided to go back to it and check it out. And damned if they haven't made a huge amount of progress. I'm currently building a vault. Today was day 2 of my. I decided I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna build a vault. So I'm midway through making that right now, and I'm playing with my mods and stuff. But the game has made a huge amount of progress since I played it last, and it's become a damn good survival game. It's this game sits between Rust and Daisy level scavenging with a more Minecraft-esque build mechanic. And the big thing I like about it is fully deformable everything.
Yeah,
So you
it's all
get a
voxels,
shovel and
right?
Start digging underground and start building your underground cave system or making a mine or whatever you want to do. And also what's really cool about it is, unlike the other games, this one has kind of this persistent mechanic where it's 7 days to die. And every 7 days, this giant horde of zombies comes and attacks. So it's basically like you have to build up a base, or you have to figure out what you're going to do on the 7th day. And then there's like a huge PvE event and you have to defend against it. And then you've got another 7 days to clean up, repair, and get ready for the next one. And there's a whole built-in skill system now. You get skill points, which you can put into different like main skills that give you like perks and stuff. While at the same time, everything you do, kind of an Ultima Online kind of stuff, the more you do, the more you get points. Just like randomly doing stuff. You craft stuff, you get crafting points. You mine stuff, you get mining points. You fight stuff, you get fighting. And it's really good. I'm playing again tomorrow, 3rd day straight. I'm going to be playing it, and I've been nothing but enjoying it so far.
This is a game that Danny Baranowski was playing a lot of, right? I think when he was on, he was talking a lot about this game. I never checked it out. Glad that you did though. Tally, you were wanting to. You did this.
I go like this when I'm thinking. Like this is the Tally's thinking. With the
Okay,
hands.
gotcha. What were you thinking? Can I get it?
No, I was just gonna ask Colin, like, when you're talking about the whole like little PvE thing, because I love that I love PvE. So, when you're on that 7th day and you're going to defend, I guess, your fort or whatnot, or whatever you built, are you with other people? Like, are you on a server with like? Other yourself?
It's all server based, so you can play on public servers. In my case, I'm actually on a private server, and I'm playing with just my mods. So I've been playing, and my mods like my Twitch channel mods. So what I've been doing is like I'm building the vault. So I built a little above ground kind of small wooden house to house the hatch down into the vault. And I ended up digging out a giant trench around it and filling it with spikes, and then putting a different type of spikes all around the wall. And the 7th day was me on the top of this building with a bow and arrow fighting off hordes of zombies that were then throwing themselves at spikes and like losing, their legs were popping off and their arms were popping off. And I'm sitting here shooting them in the head while
Is
they're
that
down.
on stream? I want to try to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And meanwhile, chat's going crazy, like, he's gonna die and he's second. Oh man, he's gonna die. Like it was really cool. I didn't know if I was gonna make it out of there. And of course, the zombies all have like unholy screams. So I'm in my house, and it's just like in a 360 perimeter, just like, and every so often you hear a dog bark, and then there are these flying bee things that kick your ass, and I don't know. It was a mess, dude, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I guess that must have been on day 1, right? Because it's not in your day 2 VOD.
Yeah, it may have been right at the end of day 1 or right at the beginning of day 2. I don't remember. It didn't last that long. Like the entire night's 10 minutes. So it was like a 10-minute event kind of thing. Yeah.
Horrifying. That's too much.
It's too much for you, Jesse.
And of course, after I clear out all these zombies, 50 plus zombies have fallen to my hand. I'm sitting here like Evil Dead on the top, just covered in carnage. Just, yeah, this is awesome. And I walk over the side and I'm like, I should probably repair my bed, and proceed to walk off and fall into my trench and kill myself in my spikes. Only death I had the entire night. So I just sat there for a good 30 seconds, like staring at the screen, like this is my life.
Nice. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Anything else besides the Rim Worlds?
Not really. There's a couple cool games I'm going to be looking at in the coming days. Like we've got Starbound finally releasing Friday.
Yeah.
And another game that I actually wanted to ask if any of you guys have played it, because I was gifted this game today. It's called Zombie Night Terror. So basically, it's a pixel art side scroller where you are a god character, and there's all these people on the screen, and you have to inject them with zombie stuff, zombie juice, to turn them into zombies, and then you have to take over everyone on the map by like controlling these zombies and killing everyone on it. It looks amazingly fun, and I'm going to be checking that out. I don't know, maybe tomorrow afternoon, but that looks really cool. And then another game that I don't know if any of you guys have played yet. This is a game that is coming out. It's I can never say the name right. Okaros.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That looks sweet.
I just got contacted today by one of the preview build people, and I'm hoping to get a build of that soon to play. That game looks hilarious. That's the pixel art Greek god, like you control a mob of people, and
you're basically that was
East,
and you run around and people follow you and you just tear stuff.
Yep. I really like the fact that you can name everyone. So I'm gonna sit there and every time it's like, okay, sub, you're in. It's gonna be like a football team. You're off the bench, let's go. And I'm just gonna like truck people into this game. I can't wait for it.
That should be cool.
Oh, and then finally, I played a little bit of Fury.
Oh, did you like that?
Holy shit.
Hard. There's so many ways to take that.
There are very few games that will make me ignore chat.
Oh, really?
Wow.
They ever tell you the boss mechanics?
Oh, dude, it's the kind of game.
I mean,
like
I'm not going to stream it now. I was thinking of it, but
people have told me straight up, like, hey, you're going to stream Fury again? You're going to stream Fury? And I'm like, I want to stream Fury, but I also would love to be a Twitch streamer. And unfortunately, those are not really on par with each other. Because seriously, you look away for like 2 seconds, and that can be the end of that run. It is extremely difficult, extremely fun. If you like challenge mode stuff, highly recommend it. I was even on normal difficulty. There's a harder difficulty, but very fun. A lot of different mechanics. A really engaging, like entertaining game. And yeah, it's definitely one of those games though that it's like you have to focus. My wife was with me the whole time, and she was just like, hey, having fun concentrating? Hey, poke right in the place you don't like to be poked. And I was just sitting there like, mother, like I'm serious right now, woman. You know, like it was yeah. It was something.
There you go. Before we jump into Legion, I played kind of your general Battlefield 1, which we talked about. I've been playing a lot of WoW as well. But on VR Fridays, I played some Raw Data, which is a game I think I was talking about last week. Which is
kind of the VR one, right?
Yeah, it's kind of great. I've noticed more and more that as I talk about VR and streaming VR does a disservice to what I'm actually playing, because you can't, like, there's so many things in VR that you can't actually show or represent via just a static image. So like, this looks like the dumbest fucking gameplay in the world. the fact that I'm just walking around with this sword and I'm like throwing it at people and I'm killing this stuff. It looks so fucking boring and mundane. But like, if you actually have the fucking headset on, this game's great. All it is it's a horde shooter it's like an arena horde shooter that you can move around in. One guy, they've only got 2 characters right now. One guy has a sword, which you see right here. It's a female ninja. It's not even a guy. Then the male character has one gun, which you reload from your hip. And it was pretty all right. I also had my first ever VR experience where I hit something outside of the VR game. I have a chandelier in this room. If you can see it on the bottom left, there's a chandelier in the center of the room, and this game causes you to look up and do this motion a lot. And so I went like that and slammed my hand right into the chandelier. Nothing happened. It just hurt real bad. I didn't mess anything up. But that was the first VR mishap of many, I'm sure. So
JP, I got to ask, the fact that it was just like we talked about VR a little bit last week or the week before, and we kind of talked about how a lot of these games just feel like tech demos because the gameplay itself is just so basic. And one of the things that I was kind of hoping with this game is that it would kind of not be that. But as you like, did the game, after playing a little bit, when you said it's just like an arena horde mode, basically, did you start getting that feeling
that it was a tech demo of sorts?
That it just was like here to show off VR and really had not much substance of its own?
I mean, I think that this probably more than any other game that I can think of besides maybe Hover Junkers it's a fully realized game. Like they're going to add in more characters. They're definitely working on a game here, not a demo. They're not looking for investors for their next game with this one. Like this is their thing. And it felt like everything about this game in terms of VR, like the fidelity of it, the motions of it, all of that felt like pretty much some of the best VR experiences I've had. So I was overall, like it was really fantastic time. I think the only thing that is kind of rough is I think it's like $33. And so a lot of the stuff, my mindset is like, if you can afford VR, if you can afford a computer for VR, then you can maybe not care about $30 a game for an experience that's probably going to last you 3 to 4 hours for your first time.
See, I'm waiting for the VR game that comes out that's like the BioShock of VR.
I don't know.
Where it's like completely immersive environment. You explore a world. I
think that stuff is already there though. Like you get so like there's times where I'll come out of the game and I'll feel like the fucking real world is boring as shit because I'm just walking around. Like I get super immersed in just the most simplistic things. Like we played another game a little bit later called Out of Ammo, which is actually by the DayZ creator, Dean Hall, I think is his name. Yeah. And so he made a VR game called Out of Ammo, and you're kind of like you're kind of basically a god playing an RTS, but then you can also zoom into your little guys that you're controlling, that you're like manning the positions with.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can go in. It has some weird bugs, like this menu bugged out on me. But you can like go in and then you're sniping from this watchtower, which you've commanded the guy to be in, and then you can come back out. And again, it's kind of like you're protecting the area. But like when that helicopter flew in, it's in your space. So the idea of just a toy helicopter flying right towards you felt really fucking crazy. But showing that on stream, it doesn't convey that at all. It just looks like a shittily made helicopter flying at you. And everyone's like, oh, that doesn't make any sense.
Set up everything, JP.
To set up all the VR stuff?
Yeah, like
a very long time. Even so that like, and Lyric even experienced this last week. You set everything up, and you start streaming, and then you set things up for 3 more hours while you're streaming. Like there's a lot of things that can just fuck with VR. Like I have a window over in that room, and sometimes if the light is coming in at just the right angle and at just the right amount of light, it'll actually fuck up the 2 base stations on the Vive. And so it can't actually detect the headset because the light is hitting the front of the headset, which fucks with the sensors, I think is how I interpreted it.
That actually happened in my room too.
Yeah. So like there's a ton of different things that can mess with it. So like when people ask, should I get a Vive? I still say no. I still say don't, unless you have money to spend, don't invest the amount of money that it takes to play all this stuff. Cause it's still pretty early on. There's no clear winner. There's a lot of different people trying a lot of different things, and there's no solid app for it.
Do you have a Oculus Rift?
I don't, but I've used one before for about 10
My-
minutes.
Hands down, my most favorite VR game is a game that's hardly VR. I guess it's kind of Edge of Nowhere. I think
I've heard about that.
It's exclusive. It's essentially Dead Space, but you are the light. So you're like behind the back, and you're the light. So where you move your head, that's where you see the lights, but you're still controlling it with a controller.
Oh,
And you're a dude in Antarctica trying to figure out what happened to a lost expedition. And then it gets like totally Cthulhu-rific, and it's horrifying. But it's super scary and a lot of fun. So far, it's my favorite VR game, and it's the least VR game of all of them.
oh, that's
That sounds awesome. That
that's
sounds
by
like
Insomniac. That's by Insomniac, right?
Insomniac made it. Yeah, it's great.
Insomniac's been pumping out a ton of VR games.
Is that Oculus only?
It
Jesse?
is, yeah, it's Oculus only.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
looking at
so.
it.
And
Yeah.
now I have a reason to open my Rift.
There you
Awesome.
go. There you go. Yeah, it came out on June 6th, though it's already out there, Co. You can grab it whenever you want.
It's amazing. It's definitely scary. It's a game where you're not prepared for VR scariness, but it's also like trippy scary, so it messes with your mind,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah, I have stayed away purposefully from these scary games because,
With good reason.
like
It's
I said,
way
when you
worse.
jump into a VR scary game, even if it's like the dumbest, something that like I would play or see in a normal game without a headset on, I'd be like, that was like fucking real stupid. Like no one's with a VR headset on, I'm immediately fucking terrified because it feels so real.
One of the ones you get for free with the Sony VR
Yeah.
is the shark encounter thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I have an irrational
Oh, I
fear
know
of
you do.
sharks. And so literally the game is just you're in a one of those tanks
Yeah.
and you have the bars around you and a shark proceeds to attack you for 5 minutes and that's it. And I'm like, I can't. No, I played it at something 3 years ago. I don't remember what it was. And I was not, the rest of the day was ruined. I was like, this is not happening. This day
Yeah.
is tough.
There's
Everywhere I went.
There's a
Really?
game called The Blue out on Vive. I think it's for Vive and Oculus. But it's literally, you load into these 3 spaces and you kind of just stand there and you watch like aquatic life come in waves and just form around you. And it's one of the games that they actually showed me when they were like doing demos of the Vive very early on. I think it was like PAX Prime last year, maybe the year before. And even that, like, there's one where you're on a giant ship and like a giant fucking whale passes by you and its
Like,
eyes,
its eye looks right at you.
and its
Yeah.
eyes like right in your face, and you're just kind of like, this is fucking trippy, man. Like that is super impactful. I put my dad in there and he was like, get this thing off me. He just took it off. Like my brother's wife did the same thing. And she's like, I can't, this is not fun. I can't be in here right now.
I was at the Google headquarters in LA watching a little boy because he just got up with the painting one where you can paint the world.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, here, try this one, you'll love it. He's like, I love animals. They put it on him. He cried. He
Really?
cried. He was underwater and the whale comes up and he just started losing it. And I was like, there's nothing like bad about that. Like there's nothing scary in this game. It's just the sensory interaction with what's going on in the world around you. This kid lost it. He was just done.
We put Aaron's 7-year-old into VR,
Oh, no.
and I've never seen a kid that was like it was so intuitive. She was playing Job Simulator, and I don't know if she had watched like a YouTube video of someone doing it before, but like the entire thing was like, yep, I'm gonna take that, gonna grab that, gonna go do this, gonna go type this over in on the computer. And I was like, how the fuck, like, is it that intuitive, or have you seen this before? Because she was like, there was no question as to what to do. She just did everything that you were supposed to do. And so that might just speak to the intuitive nature of VR. So
Oh yeah, no, you're officially an old man. You're like old man territory now.
I guess
When-
I am.
when-
Yeah. I turned
when a
30
young
in
kid
September.
can do
So
something- when a young kid can do something that you already have trouble doing, you're old man. You're over. You're done.
yeah. So that's a thing. I'll be
So
doing
sorry.
more. There was a what was it? The Star Wars Tatooine adventure thing came out on Monday on Steam for free. So I'm going to be checking that out on Friday. I think all it is you repair an X-wing or something, and then you get a lightsaber at the end and like deflect some lasers, and like R2's walking around beeping at you. So we'll see how that
People
goes.
have been drawing dicks with a lightsaber all week. That's literally- they just scorch it into the side of the X-wing. That's all people are doing. So
Well, if I do that on Twitch, I'll get banned, and I don't want to join Phantom Lord. So we're just gonna leave it at that. We're just gonna leave it at that. But that's VR. Like, continues to still impress. There's a lot of games coming out for it. It might just be the nature of Steam that there's always games coming out on Steam, but it seemed like almost every week there's a brand new VR game out that I want to try. So I'll continue doing that, and hopefully I'll find the killer app. But I think it's going to be like 2 years.
I think a game came out called Assembly this week. That is
I haven't heard of that one.
story-driven game where you play as 2 different characters,
Let me see.
and each of them has to make a moral choice. Like, it's a moral game where you play as 2 different people, and there's like a weird factory or something. I'm not sure what it's about, but I know a lot of people are talking about it.
So there's one called In Valor Verstad. I haven't seen that. A Chair in a Room, Greenwater, A10 VR, Abe VR. Oh, Adrift finally came out. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I don't.
That's the
The
space
assembly.
one, right?
That is
Stuck on a
the
space
the
station?
space one. Yeah, yeah.
It's called the
Oh
Assembly.
wait, no,
It's
that's
first-person
fuck. I was searching my name.
story.
Oh yeah, the Assembly VR Unlock.
Mhm.
First-person dynamic story for mature audience. Assembly is a long-form game designed from the ground up for VR. Play as 2 individuals and discover a morally challenging organization from contrasting perspectives.
Multiple thrilling conclusions. So I imagine that's kind of a cool, different
So,
take on.
You
VR.
have that's weird. You buy the Assembly for
There's 2 versions. There's one that is not VR and one that is VR.
no. So unless I'm here, I'll just bring this over and we can. It's considered-
It's gonna take a team
It's
to figure this
considered
out.
as DLC to get the VR aspect of the game on Steam.
Yo, is it?
Yeah,
There's a regular game and then there's a DLC that's
it
VR.
says
only.
buy the Assembly VR Unlock for $10. The Assembly Complete is $29.99. VR plus non-VR.
You're absolutely right. So yeah, there's the VR
Whoa.
version is another 10. Yeah.
I haven't seen anything like that for VR. That's an interesting way of doing it, I assume. Buying the base game and then you have to buy the VR portion for another $10.
Yeah. Interesting.
Graphically, it looks, pretty high fidelity. So I might check that out this week. Hopefully, it's not fucking terrifying. Hopefully, there's no scariness to it because that shit fucks with. I played like the stupidest wizard game last week, Jesse, and there's multiple points in that game where you have to like slowly creep around a corner, and so I would like teleport myself over to like right behind a wall and then like lean out this way and there'd be a fucking just skeleton like standing there like this. It'd be like, jump back a little bit. So we'll see. I might check out the Assembly though. It looks pretty cool. It's got 3 reviews right now and they're positive. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll check that out Friday as well as the Tatooine stuff. So is there anything else? I'm trying to remember. Played a bunch of WoW. Oh, I played a bunch of Overwatch because the new patch hit yesterday. Won't talk too much about it, but thank fucking God for that patch on so many fucking levels. That's a thumbs up. That's 2
Every
thumbs
level.
up.
For us non-OW players, what were the big changes?
They added Anna, the new support sniper class, and the support sniper healer. But the big thing for me is that I played the night prior to the patch, and I hadn't played ranked in about 2 weeks since like right when it launched.
I'm so sorry for you.
And that it was remarkable because every fucking team seemed like they had just gotten off Reddit and read the meta of the day, and they were running like double Winston, double fucking Reaper, double Lucio, and just stacking the fuck out of like really good heroes that synergize well with themselves and stacking those. And I was like, this is this is so fucking stupid. I hate hero stacking so much. Went to bed, woke up, played another 7 hours on the new patch, which made it so you can't hero stack in competitive anymore. And goddamn, is it fucking so much more fun.
Wow. So you can't stack heroes, or you can't have like 2.
Only in competitive. Yeah, you can only have one of each hero.
So here's the crazy part. Before launch in beta, I was that guy who was like, you're crazy if you think it should be one hero in competitive. That's dumb. The whole point of this game is so that you can stack heroes and switch heroes and make different combinations. Having played competitive, I admit I was completely wrong. It was so broken there were moments where it was like, all right, we had this amazing match where the two teams went at it. We're in sudden death overtime. All they have to do is get 1 point. They have 2 minutes to hit 1 point. The other team, what they'll do is they'll just go one healer, all like divas. They're all win.
Yeah.
And then spam the point and win. And you're like, well, there was nothing we could do. Like, there was literally nothing we could do.
Yeah.
And then, and then they changed this, and now everything's infinitely better.
It's so much
Another
better.
big thing is when you start talking about hero stacking, that basically means an entire rebalance of every hero, because then you have to assume the team would use 6 of that type, and then that hero needs to be balanced against themselves, and that's a nightmare from a game design perspective.
Well,
that's a nightmare.
And since the game is about countering, like it's so in theory, the idea of like, oh well, this enemy team, if they go all Winstons, oh well shit, we'll just counter that. We'll get a bunch of Reapers or some guys in there and we'll destroy them. But when you're in sudden death mode, the problem is you have 2 minutes. And the point A, they always is what they have to take, is always much closer to them than it is to you. So if they come at you with 6 Winstons and wipe your team, you now have 30 seconds to get back onto that point, and they've
try
already
to react. Yeah,
you have 0 reaction to their strategy. So it's a pointless endeavor across the board. I'm thrilled they changed this, and
it's so good.
Yeah, I've never been so happy about them ruining something that's a core mechanic of the game.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm fine with you destroying that. That's fine.
One of the things too that would happen the night prior that I knew it had already happened because I've done it before, but if you were close to winning and you held the point, it goes into overtime obviously when someone contests. So in a lot of maps, King of the Hill, any sort of map that wasn't a payload, even though payload works as well, they would all go diva. You would be fighting 6 divas that would just rush towards the fucking spawn with the fly thing and then use her ability, which used to be a cooldown, but now it's not in the new patch. And Diva's actually one of the best tanks now. But they would all use the ability and they would just spam. And so like overtimes would last sometimes longer than the fucking original game because it was just tracers and divas constantly contesting and you couldn't do anything. It was so fucking annoying. And I
can imagine playing against 6 tracers basically is kind of like,
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, basically like hell code. That's what it would be. It would be hell.
Yeah.
6 tracers.
Pretty much.
And of course, the whole time you're doing that, you're getting plinked, and your life's just like.
Yeah.
Is this translating to esports though? Like now with the esports tournaments that they host every week on Twitch,
Well,
is that rule going to be?
it kind of
in a competitive scene.
It kind of started. A lot of tournaments ran 1 hero per, but the big tournament coming up, which is ESL, which I think has $100,000 prize pool, does not, as far as I know, unless they've changed it in the past 2 weeks, it's still allowing hero stacking.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
How can they do that?
Like
What do they have, a
2 or
previous
something. That
version?
probably fix a lot.
Ranked games are ranked. Ranked games is a certain rule set, and private games or custom games are not.
Yep.
So
Wait, you can't use the ranked rule set in a private game?
I'm sure you can.
I'm sure you could.
They're
but you
making
don't
the
have-
choice not to.
But they wouldn't. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I think the biggest issue.
Oh,
is
they had changed it.
currently-
Okay, apparently they changed it. There you go. Thank God. Thank
Yeah.
God they're changing
Like,
it.
Wow.
As it stands, I feel like this is like a stopgap in that everyone understands competitive mode is like completely out of whack. And they've said we're gonna fix it. Next season, everything's gonna be fixed. I'd be okay if they were like, we'll allow 2. You can be 2 of the same character.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
there's a lot of cool synergies you can make there, but they would have to change sudden death or the way they wrap up matches in order to make stuff like that fair.
Right.
Because then you can go with what JP was saying, where it was literally just like, yeah, no, we have 2 Winstons and 2 Lucios, and we have all these things that synergize together. So screw you. And it's like, all right,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's weird that I fought so hard against everyone. Like, no, guys, you don't understand. That's the whole point of the game. You want to stack. Like, that's what makes the game fun. And legit, the minute I got into competitive mode was like, oh, fuck this. This is terrible.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the thing with, and I'm sure this is why it happened, but if you're a developer or a play tester, you don't try to, like, I would think that those people don't try to win they don't try hard. They don't try to win every fucking game in testing. They try to test the game. So the second it went public, everyone in the public's like, oh, I want to fucking be the best. And the way to be the best at that point in time was to just fucking hero stack. So that's all everyone fucking did. And I think Blizzard didn't anticipate that at all. And so now you see them like responding to the community, which Blizzard is something has been really good about that. So it's awesome to see that. One thing that is still real fucking awful, which Jesse, I think, was just mentioning a little bit, is the idea that fucking sudden death is so goddamn awful. It is
Worse.
so like you can
I heard you
tie.
say that earlier. Can you explain a little bit about that?
So
Like,
if you tie a match, it depends. So if it's a payload map, if both teams get it to the end, it goes sudden death. And what sudden death is, a fucking coin pops up and flips, and you either attack or you defend on the first point. And that's how you decide if you win the match.
Oh,
And you have a minute 30 to capture it. So you have one death.
Out of whack. So you basically have one chance. Either you pick a team that attacks, and so that's why people do like all tanks and they just all go to the point and hold it, or you pick a defensive team that has like a crazy strategy.
Yeah.
But you're screwed. No matter what, one of the teams has a massive like perfect example is Volskaya. Volskaya Industries. On defense, the run back is a minute long already. So if you die once, it's over.
Yeah.
There's many points where
And you're not going to have your ultimate for a lot of heroes, so some heroes just don't even work because you can't build your ultimate fast enough on like Zarya, for example, which is a huge Zarya's ult, the black hole thing is like a big team wipe. But if you choose her, all you have to really do is just her fucking shields because you're not going to build up the ult in a minute 30 unless you're like getting really lucky.
And then there's offensive maps like Route 66, which is a very difficult map to do offense on. And it's like, yo, get it to point A by that time. Like, you can't do that.
So you actually can't. You have a minute 30 on Route 66 to get it from the start to like the first checkpoint, and it's so fucking far away that every time it's happened, we've hit the like countdown mark for overtime before it even turns around the bend. Like it turns around the bend, you still have to go for like another 30 seconds, even if you have 3 people speeding it. And it's like, all right, you're gonna lose because you got the wrong side of the coin. It's changing in season 2, but I wish they fixed it.
I'm gonna be blunt here. This sounds a little bit less than Blizzard quality.
It's not. It absolutely. I called them out on Twitter numerous times to the point where people have been like, we understand your concerns and we're really working. Like Blizzard's been like, we get it. We understand. Like it is, and I have no problem because Blizzard, much like Square Enix, are companies that I'm like, yo, I grew up with your stuff. Like I live for your games. And when I see stuff that I don't think is good, I will be the first person on the internet like, yo, this is jank. And it's one of those things where I was just like, this does not work. The examples I gave were there was times where a person on our team would leave, we would still win, but it would give us the experience as if we had all left.
Yeah.
Like there's just bugs and weird things that are like wrong with it. And I was like, how did this get out of beta? There's so many problems. A great example is they then went back and added stuff. Instead of sudden death, there was another version, like a stopgap version, which they then took away because it was terrible. But it was like, if we got to the point, or if we got like pushed the card all the way to the end, and we had 5 minutes left, let's say, and the other team pushes the card all the way to the end, and they have 6 minutes left, the game resets where now we have 5 minutes to do it all over again, and they have 6 minutes to do all over again. What happened is if both teams' defense sucked, it would be like, all right, well, we made it back to the end with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. They made it back to the end with 3 minutes left. It's like, okay, reset again. So now we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So a game that's designed to be like a 15-minute little chunk of you playing a video game is now 45.
How many times can that happen?
Myself and Krendor, I don't remember who else was with us. We played.
Might have been stripping when you guys were playing.
Yeah, it might have been stripping too. It lasted one game, lasted 1 hour. We kept resetting, and then we got into another sudden death.
Wow.
And when we were done, the loss we got, because we got destroyed in sudden death, the loss we got was like it's like half a level. And we all were like, I would rather have lost 45 minutes ago and been in a different game.
Well, dude,
than deal with this.
For people like working adults, for instance, that don't get to game all day like us, I mean, time is everything.
Yeah.
So the idea, like, if you actually care about your rank, you want to sit down and get as many games in X amount of time as you can. That's like the exact opposite of that from the sounds of it.
Yeah, and the thing that I know is true is that everyone at Blizzard totally realizes that this is broken. And so they're all like, season 2, guys, season 2's coming. I promise you, we'll fix this, we'll fix it. And I believe them. I just, at the moment, I'm like, I love competitive. I want competitive to be awesome, but the problems with it are so glaring. You're just like, oh God. Yeah. So this idea of them coming in and saying it's one character, I love that. I'm so happy that happened. can't even begin to tell you. Like, it's
Yep.
amazing. So thumbs up.
Yeah, they're going the right steps. It's still, you could tell that like ranked is still very early on. They're still fixing a ton of stuff, but they're taking the right steps to move forward. So it's a big enough change down to the one hero stuff that like I played yesterday for 8 hours. It was the same type of experience where I had no idea that I was streaming for 8 hours. I just continued to play, and it was like one game after the other, one game after the other. And like Ana is a great hero. I think that she synergizes so fucking well with so many heroes right now, and is just a complete badass hero. But it's just, I haven't, like, you don't see that often ranked because not that many people know how to play her unless they play it on the PTR. So like as soon as she starts getting figured out, you're going to start to see comps around her. And then of course there's probably going to be another hero very soon. I think they were talking about that as well. So it looks cool. I'm super excited where Overwatch is going.
Yeah, I'm thrilled about all of it. I think their release of competitive mode might have been a bit too early. Like, I don't think it was quite polished. But I am always under the impression that Blizzard operates in two realities. Half of the company is everything must be an esport, and the other half is everything must be accessible to everyone. Which those two, I don't know how they gel. I wish them the best of luck. It's Hearthstone, it's Heroes of the Storm, it's Overwatch now, and it's like, Tally can say that's what the big controversy in WoW was for years. It still kind of is that after Wrath, it was like, we're going to make it accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's like, but the raiders are the ones who are the hardcore people in your game. Like the raiders and the PvPers, those are the guys who want, like, we want this game to be hardcore.
Right.
And those are the ones who are going to go to the forums and talk to you guys and be at all your events. And so it's a weird, like, I don't know how the two gel, but I imagine at that company, that's a conversation every day.
Yeah.
Like, how do we figure this out?
Well,
it's something I notice all the time.
I think one of the things that has happened, and I've heard this on, I was listening to the Giant Bombcast, and a lot of those guys really enjoy Overwatch, but they're not going to be the guys that play ranked a shit ton. In fact, they've said that they've played ranked, but, you know, people take ranked really seriously, obviously, and they get very, like, every game I've played, I've solo queued my entire ranked career thus far, and people get really fucking salty, as you do in a ranked gameplay.
Like Legend salty, or like.
Quick question on that, because I've heard you now a few times say that you've been solo queuing ranked. Before, when you played Overwatch, you talked frequently about how much fun it was to play with other people.
Yeah.
Has that changed with rank?
Oh no, look. Tim's ForgottenFriends.com links directly to me. I've been forgotten by all of the I've been forgotten by all the other Overwatch streamers, so now I just solo queue because otherwise I'm not going to play the fucking game. So that's literally why I'm playing. So
I solo queue, but not in. I only do competitive if I know I have friends on. But I solo queue the rest of that game just for shit. I always, in my mind, this is another problem that I have with the game. I always, in my mind, love the idea you could solo queue, a quick match, jump in, dick around, try something new, do new stuff. It wasn't until I realized that all figures into your competitive rank. I was like, shut up. So when we did all of our rankings together, everyone on my team was like level 49, and I came out 43. It was like, I just was playing around. I didn't think this would happen. So
the same time, though, like, I've had some of the most positive experiences playing solo queue, and I've had some of the, like, this game right here. We had a guy by the name, it was like That Pony something or other. And there was,
sounds about right.
We joined the game, right? There's 3 people in the game that are queuing as a group, and then there's me, this other guy, and this guy named That Pink Pony. All That Pink Pony does is choose Bastion. He only plays Bastion, even on offense, defense, no matter what, he plays Bastion. So we joined the game, and the other 3 guys are just like, fuck, man, like, God, fuck. And they're just like raging at shit. So I started just being like, hey guys, sorry, that's my brother. Like, he's playing on my alta. He really likes Bastion. So he's just going to continue to play Bastion. Sorry about that. So like I think we end up losing the first round, which is what you're seeing right here. Like the game progresses onwards. And like, we turned That Pink Pony into what is supposed to be, I guess, a troll, although maybe he just wants to play a shit ton of Bastion, into like one of the best game experiences because we won. We ended up beating the other team because we just like said, fuck it. This guy's not going to change. Let's have fun and like build around this one guy. And it was like one of the most fun experiences I've had playing Overwatch. That being said, I've had really awful ones as well.
Yeah, I don't know if you've experienced this, but the last time I played, which I think was it was like the night before patch. Myself and Krendor and a bunch of us were trying to play, and literally it was just like, "Are you a streamer?" Gross.
Oh no, that happens to me every game. The thing now that happens is
Now, wait, real quick, Jesse. To be fair, we're pretty gross.
we are pretty gross.
I've never experienced that in my entire life. They're like, "Oh, and the entire people on our team was talking crap to us about how awful like streamers were, and then at the end we lose. And I'm like, you guys spent the entire game talking, you didn't even play, and then at the end they're like, that's because we hate you. Streamers suck. I'm like, what?
See, and
It was not just that game. It was multiple games. Everyone was like, eat shit, streamers. I was like, what?
I think
Why are you so mean?
So we're ruining the game.
They're on your team.
that's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
it blew my mind.
We
I was like,
deserve it.
We do deserve it. We do deserve it. The thing that happens to me is that, and I think it's because I'm playing at like 68 to or sorry, I leveled 64 to 69 last night, which is I guess like the upper echelon of the ranked right now. I think maxed is around like 84 or something like that, unless it's been higher. But everyone in that range, kind of, they're all going to be your like diehard competitive guys, and so they probably watch streams when they're not playing Overwatch, and so pretty much every single game someone recognizes me or says like, hey, what's up, JP? So it's been that type of relationship, and I used to hate it, but now I'm just kind of like, yeah, what's going on? How's it going, guys? Because a lot of the times they're not going to be a dick. Every once in a while, though, you will get like the asshole that's just like, oh, great, we got JP, we're going to fucking lose. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Thanks, man. Thanks for that.
But in non-competitive mode, everyone who recognized me like, yo, dude, that's awesome. And especially if I beat them, like, it was a pleasure to get beaten by you. I was like, that's so nice. But like in competitive, the minute we joined competitive and it was being streamed, the end of the world happened. People lost their mind that we were playing, and I was like, we're just having fun. I don't understand why do you hate us? Why?
Yeah.
You're the worst. You're stuck.
My personal favorites, I'm playing a game, or I was playing a game, probably go back to a little bit, but it's really buggy and needs work, called Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget when I finished a game, and it was with the rank 1, and he ended up dying early, and he actually spectated and waited until the end of the game to let me know this. And he just wanted to let me know how shitty of a person I was streaming a game because he was sure the killer was watching my screen, and that's what led him to get killed early.
Oh, he had the... Okay.
And he just wanted to wait till the end of my game, a good 10 minutes later, to let me know that I was the reason he sucked that round.
So it wasn't that he was a horrible player. It was your fault, obviously.
Oh, no, it wasn't. I didn't even see the guy. I didn't even see him the entire game. He just got killed and put on a hook and murdered in like the first 2 minutes. And he spectated and waited at the end. He's like, just want to let you know that, I really appreciate it that maybe, you do your own thing or maybe not play multiplayer games because it really puts us at a disadvantage because, like I'm trying to have fun, but it's kind of hard when my enemy is watching me play. So, yeah.
100% that is the mindset of a competitive player because that's a narcissistic competitive player because he immediately blames someone else. He immediately goes for like, how else could I have died right here?
I had the perfect soundbite for it though. Hold on.
Exactly.
Yeah. We just play that and keep going.
There you go. But yeah, Overwatch still turns out is a good game. A lot of people are enjoying it. I'm glad that they're patching it as much as they are and continually updating it as much as they are because it's good. And if you're not playing Overwatch and you want to play a competitive shooter, it's probably one of the best things out right now. And it's probably the only thing out because there's no other games out for some time until like early August when No Man's Sky comes out. I mean, we all get to see if that game's actually good. And
we got Starbound.
When it gets delayed again, you mean?
Yeah. Starbound and then what?
There's another lawsuit.
Really? Over what?
I think it was either in your chat or my chat. Someone mentioned that No Man's Sky was hit because one of the math things that they're using was apparently like a
copyrighted or something.
Yeah, it's like a Dutch thing. I'm not sure, but apparently I don't know. I hope to God that's not going to delay it because frankly they can't afford another delay.
They can't afford it. I wonder if all these people are coming out on that because they know that the game has it's going to be, regardless of how the game actually is, it's going to be commercially successful at this point because it's had so much fucking press. I really highly doubt that game will not be a commercial success Unless you hit play, and then like a little turd just pops up on the screen and says, "Thanks for buying the game."
I mean, this is the second time, right, Ko, that this has happened. Like they've been sued, or like.
The first time was because of the Sky thing. Sky knew, like apparently they had a cease and desist for the whole name No Man's Sky because of some copyright thing, and now this would be the second one. But I mean, the problem at this point with No Man's Sky is there's so much stuff going on behind the scenes that people don't know about, and now there's all this stuff about, oh, really? Because you didn't want to get delayed to launch with the PlayStation 4 stuff because it's a lot more financially feasible for you. So it's like all this like back alley deal stuff, and the game just needs to come out so we can play it and see if it's any damn good.
Yeah,
that's what needs to happen.
Before anything else happens, we get another delay.
Oh, but real quick, JP, there's actually 2 things that we didn't talk about that is going to come before No Man's Sky.
What's that?
Total War Warhammer is going to be releasing their entire new race, the Beastmen.
Oh, nice.
I don't know about you, JP, but I'm going to be checking that out.
Oh, yeah. I'll be honest. Me and I don't know what came out, but me and Sam didn't give that game its due credit in terms of streaming it. We played like religiously we played like 13 hours in a row, 2 days in a row. And then we just cold turkey never went back and visited. So like, I'll probably, just because also there's nothing coming out, I'll probably check that out. It's a full new race though.
Apparently it's an entire new side, a new campaign for them, like the whole 9 yards. Now, unfortunately, apparently the price is pretty rough. It's like $20 or something, but they're saying that like it's an entire new experience for them. So could be cool. Also, and I'm kind of surprised we haven't been hearing more about this because it made a decent splash at E3, and a lot of people are just forgetting that We Happy Few comes out at the end of this month, July 26th.
Yeah, I remember that.
Few. I don't know about you guys. I'm super pumped. I saw that E3 thing, and I was when it switched over to the rat and the people. So I was just like,
yeah, no, that was a great pull.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think press codes went out for that or are going out for that this week. I heard someone talking about that. So I don't know if you're gonna.
I don't have those connections.
Well, I don't have those connections either. Someone was saying that. Oh yeah, I think codes are supposed to go out this week. I don't know who's on that list or who isn't on that list, or if you can even stream those press codes, or if there's an embargo. Blah blah blah. But yeah, I think that is obviously coming out pretty soon. So that's cool. At least we got some games.
Come out, and I'm not even in town. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Oh yeah, you got CohhCarnage going on. That's right. There you go. You're going to be in London town for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, man. So
where's it located?
It's in Telford, England. So it's at this big convention center.
Do you do that? Do you do it there every year, or?
Yeah. It's a
one guy be like, "Yo, when's it coming to California, bro?" So
that's existing forever. And I'm like, I go to every convention in the States. Find me at one. I'll say hi. Yeah, it started as a joke and now is a real thing. So every year I'm there.
It's pretty cool how overt, like how just kind of open you are about the gay porn stuff.
You know what? That's actually our ongoing joke. Last year the poster was me as a hot dog. This year our shirt says it's not about ding dongs.
Jesse, I'm so glad you immediately knew what I was talking about. I was thinking about
it. Took me a second. Tally hasn't gotten it yet, I don't think.
I embrace it, and we were gonna originally come up with like a really creative name, but I love the idea of just being CohhCarnage, so kids would have to explain to their parents what they're doing. I just want that awkward conversation. Like when people travel on the trains and stuff to get there, like, yeah, we're going to CohhCarnage, and everyone's like, what?
You should. Do you have like? You're not on a level yet where you give people like goodie bags for going, right?
I wish we were there, but no, not yet.
When you get to that level, you need to just have a little, and I mean little, keychain dong that you just give to people in the goodie bag that says CohhCarnage and then the year.
I still want a shirt that says Cox, COCKS, but the KS is just scratched out with an X. So CohhCarnage, dude,
that'd be great.
I would buy that in a second.
Buy that. I'd buy that shirt.
Man. It's like kids. No, just kidding. I don't care.
The penis is also a bottle opener. I know.
Tally. If they're old enough to gamble, then they're old enough to talk about cocks. All right. You know what I'm saying?
Topical comedy.
That's the Phantom Lord method right there. What time is it? Let's take a break. We'll come back, talk all about WoW Legion, talk about all the news of the week. Although there's there's not that much. It's kind of a dead week as we've been talking about. So we'll take this quick break. We'll come back and we'll see you guys on the other side of the break. We'll see you then. Be right back.